Space. Space jokes. Space jokes.
You know, they say nobody can hear you.
Right. No one
In
can hear
space.
you fart in space. I think your farts would still be audible.
Well, it'd be like more like the black holes merging, where it ripples through time and space itself. Where's
That's
Merz?
good.
Yeah.
Merz is on Mars. Right there. See him?
Oh, I see him!
You gotta zoom in.
He's in the outer rim. At least 12 parsecs from here.
This is a live viewing from the James Webb Observatory. No, it's not. That'd be cool, though. We never get video. We should get video out there.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that might be difficult, considering how the pictures are made. Time-lapse, maybe? Wouldn't it be time-lapse? I mean, all video is time-lapse in a way, right?
There's the moon.
The moon! And space.
Do you know there's alien bases on the dark side?
Dark
I thought they were Transformers.
Hey!
Hey! It's Josh 50's guy.
Dude, it's true. That is Josh 50's guy.
Josh 50's guy and a bunch of others.
Where's Merz?
Where Merz is.
Is he on Mars?
Merz. He's in
Probably still in that dumpster fire of his.
Oh my god,
Merz's friend.
Myself.
Scary.
It is creepy.
Do you think you've been abducted?
Scary.
Oh, there's Merz on Mars.
Yeah.
With Matt Damon?
Matt Damon.
Jesus Christ, it's Jesus Christ.
Oh, he's born again.
Do you think you've been abducted and had your memory wiped?
No, my farts
No, I
are
think I
way
remembered that.
too tall for that. Oh wait, not that one. Alright.
2 more minutes.
2 minutes remaining.
I hate it when we miss 420.
Some
Gotta
of
pay
us
more
don't
attention.
ever miss.
It's always 420 somewhere.
It's like the Jimmy Buffett song.
It's happy hour somewhere.
Amen to that.
Yeah. It's a nebula.
Nebula, nebulae, nebulae.
Nebula and Gamora. Wait.
Nebba nebba high, nebba nebba mo.
Mecca like a high, make a Mersey hole.
Where's Mersey's hole?
Mersey's hole.
I don't even want to know where that is.
North of the south one.
It's a minute left and Merz is nowhere to be seen once again.
North hole. It's the north hole. The south hole.
It's a hole? It's a pole.
It's Merz's workshop in the south hole.
Oh, is Merz Santa Claus? Ginger Claus?
He's the Krampus.
He's got the beard. He's got to dye it white, though.
Horns? What about the horns? Doesn't Krampus have horns?
He's grumpy Santa. He's bad Santa.
I like the American Dad version of Krampus.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7.
Guess we're Merzless today.
Dude!
Hey!
Oh my gosh!
He shows up.
Lift off.
right on time.
Oh my gosh, dude! I had to restart my laptop like 3 times, dude.
Oh, boy.
Whatever. Somebody needs to buy me a new laptop, Ben.
Oh, boy. Ready?
I'm born ready. Let's go.
Let's go. Ready, set, go.
What is an astronaut's favorite bar? The Space Bar. This is Sexy Jokes.
This is Johnny Spaz. Welcome to Sexy Dad Jokes. Hey, Benjamin, what do you call a psychic nature lover?
Hey there, Johnny Spaz. What do you call a psychic nature lover?
Environmental?
Oh, Johnny Spaz, you are quite the natural joke teller. Hey, so, what is a spider's favorite photo to look at?
I don't know, what?
James Webb Observatory photos.
Hey guys. Why can't you ever trust atoms?
Why?
Because they make up everything.
Ow. Can't trust him.
Can't trust him. You just can't trust him.
They make everything up.
Golly, that atom joke was more like an atom bomb.
Square 50s guy.
Say, why did Captain Kirk use the ladies' room?
Why?
Why?
To boldly go where no man has gone before.
Oh, Square 50s guy. That joke took us on quite the trek. All together now.
Welcome to Sexy Dad Jokes.
Woo! Woo!
That's a good welcome.
Wow. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Sexy Dad Jokes, the show where we strive to become better men through a healthier form of manliness. As always, I'm Ben Jammin, along with Johnny Spaz.
Hey.
Mike Merz.
Hello.
Josh Richards.
What's up?
And the ever-everable Square 50s guy, Richard Richards III Jr.
Bunch of space nerds, if you ask me.
It's true, though.
It's comedy.
And today, folks, we are doing something that really everyone should be doing, and that's stopping to smell the roses. The flowers on my shirt. Hear the wind whistle, gaze at the stars at night. For today, we are going to have a nice conversation about the importance of taking time once in a while as men to simply stop what you're doing, put down your phone, put down your video game controller, and admire our natural surroundings on this beautiful blue ball we call home, and the greater universe, the awe-inspiring universe that we all belong to. So, this is, I'm sure, will be a nice change of pace from our recent deep conversations. So let's jump right into this, shall we?
Ring-a-ding-ding. Here comes a Richard Richards candygram.
Square 50s guy? What's happening?
Well, you see, I heard you mention things like natural surroundings, and I thought I'd pop in to share a story with you about a recent adventure I had.
Oh, really, Square 50 Sky? Well, please, by all means, go ahead.
So this is the land of Ireland, eh? Lots of green, but no progress for me. Gotta say, all this nature is starting to really grind my gears. Top of the morning to you. And just who might you be, Mr. Patty O'Malley? Oh, I've gone by a lot of names in different films and shows, but here, you can just call me Pierce. Pierce, eh? What films are we talking about here anyway, huh? You ever hear of the Thomas Crown Affair? Never heard of it. Oh, well, how about Mrs. Doubtfire then? I'm Shirley Doubt. I heard that one before. Well, what about James Bond then? James Bond? Are you Sean Connery? Oh, no. Oh, no. Actually, no. He's from a different continent altogether. He was a different James Bond. One of many different James Bonds, actually. But regardless, who might you be? Well, Mr. Not Connery Bond, my name is Richard the Third Jr., the one and only of one of only. You know, what might you be doing out here in old Ireland? Well, Mr. Thomas Crown of Fars, I'm on the hunt for some all-natural Irish whiskey. I don't trust the store-bought stuff, so I thought I'd look for the source here. Well, that seems fair to me. Well, what was bothering you before I came up to you anyway? You seemed quite upset from a distance. I don't know if I should be trusting my personal quarrels with the likes of a Bond light like you, pal. How do I know, moreover, that you're not one of those marquee actors for the Iron Curtain Theater Group, if you get my meaning? Oh, Richard, I may be an actor, but I have my morals. And if I'm not mistaken, the Iron Curtain fell decades ago, and I'm quite alright with that. So I assure you, I'm a fellow you can trust. Well, you may say something there, have something there. Well, the reason I was so upset was because of the fact that I got all this way to Ireland to find some good old-fashioned whiskey, but all I see are rolling hills and green grass for as far as the eye can see. And why is that a problem for you now there, Richard? Well, you see, it's quite simple. I don't have the time to listen to birds and the bees, or the time to smell the roses, especially the red ones. There's no point in looking at simple nature when there are so many complicated things in life. Oh dear, Richard. There is always time to admire the world around us. Need I remind you that all we are simple creatures who are born on this planet, and blessed with the ability to not only see, but admire and treasure that planet in all its majesty. From every canyon to every mountain, from the vast oceans to the endless skies. Not only that, but admire and respect other animals that we are more than able to coexist with, from birds to fish to frogs and every other living organism. That all sounds nice, but what about the meaningless stars that all the ankle biters and whippersnappers that stand around near my lawn look up at? Meaningless? Oh, hardly, Richard. Those stars and constellations are symbolic. They represent the vastness of space itself and the universe itself. So vast, in fact, that people every day strive to make new ways to study and explore, and most of all admire its might and majesty. It's a universe of endless possibilities. People are doing the same things for our environments, making efforts every day to preserve the habitats of countless animals, cleaning our oceans to keep them crystal blue, clearing the skies, cleaning the air, in fact, so birds can always sing their blessed songs. These things may sound simple, Richard, But it's the simple things in life that truly define who we are as people. If we can't make time for enjoying the simple things and the majestic things, to continue to have a sense of wonder and amazement in all of what the universe and the world has to offer, then we can't truly grow to a point of better selves. Never mind the technologies and the tasks of everyday life a man has to keep up with that keeps us humbled and inspired. It's the universe we are blessed to be created in that matters most. That, Richard, is why you should always have time to smell the roses. Even the red ones. Spoken like a true diplomat there, Pierce. So you know what? You made me think of something today. I think there needs to be a documentary series. Yeah, a documentary series. One that showcases nature and space's wonders in the most epic ways possible. I think I'll take a crack at it. After having some of that Irish whiskey, of course. Oh, that sounds like a plan, Richard. Take care now.
Wow, Square 50s guy does it again. Getting some advice from James Bond?
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that the advice he got was shaken, not stirred.
Oh, Square 50s guy. He's so everable.
Everable? We're not bringing that word back. We're not doing it.
I'm bringing everable back.
It was never a thing in the first place. I cannot support that stance.
Well, I get to have a catchphrase too.
Everable is your catchphrase. And I cannot support that phrase.
Every time
Nobody said I had to wear pants.
I'm not wearing pants now.
Every time Merz hears that, he
Yeah? I fart every time I hear it.
he loses his
Continents? And not like continents, the continents on the planet.
continents. He's incontinent.
There we are. See, we got it now. It's because I'm fucking old. That's what it is.
Oh,
Goodness. Okay.
I mean, I'm
Anyways.
not fucking old. I didn't mean that literally. Metaphorically.
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, right?
Nothing like some geriatric.
Oh, I was thinking necrophilia, but go on with the geriatrics.
Oh, wow.
It gets worse and worse. It doesn't get any better.
Oh.
Okay, let's
Transition.
I think we finished smelling those roses.
You know, one of the best things to grow roses on is a grave. Like, this all ties together. It's easy.
One eternity later.
Anyways, today we are looking at discussing the importance of having time as men to simply step back, and be in all of the world around us and the worlds beyond. And
The great beyond.
we've all got some views on this matter, so let's dive into that.
Hey.
So, what we want to do is go around the room here and we'll each share what are the things that put us, each of us, in a state of awe and wonder. So, like, what are your go-to things when you're stressed out or whatever? And what are some ways you find some peace in your life to take a breath and smell those roses? Or just like, what are things that you're into? What's your YouTube queue look like that you're always geeking out on that helps you kind of appreciate the wonder around us?
Well, I'll go first. And I don't usually smell the roses, or metaphoric roses, but Ben's goatee and mustache is phenomenally well kept. And I am in awe of that. The majesty.
Aww.
Let's give it up. Let's give it
For
up
Ben's
for my...
goatee and mustache. Look at that. Zoom in on that. Yeah, let's get that. Look at that. It is perfect and precise. What's funny is I can't do that with mine. Mine won't do that. I just have to let it go. But I really, really respect and am shocked and in awe of Ben's perfectly kept beard. Or goatee.
All right.
Well, Merz, my thank you for that. You know, my facial hair has been on quite a journey. You know, it's come a long way in maturing and developing and sort of evolving as facial hair. And you know, you were a big part of that.
Was I?
And I just want to thank you for that, Merz.
You, good sir, with all due respect, which I can't even express correctly, are welcome.
I'm glad you got that out of your system.
I've never complimented it before, and it's because I can't put it into words.
He's a bit of a
it's like your goatee and mustache and the way it is well kept is so inspiring, much like the universe, right? Especially when you zoomed in on it and everybody could see every precise little detail.
I like
phenomenal. And it's do you think, like, would a better camera help you?
I mean, it's like it's not the camera, it's the subject, you know. And my facial hair makes any camera look good.
It's your humility that really does it for me.
I mean, it's my beard's humility, but I can't take credit for my beard.
You can. It's your beard.
Yeah.
Nobody else grew it. You grew it.
That's quite the compliment from Ginger Gesus.
Oh my gosh. What? Okay. Yeah, I agree. I'm on Josh's page right now. Stop.
If
That's his superhero name.
that you can ever have, it's Merz and Jesus in the same sentence.
No, you didn't say Merz. Was there Merz? Oh my gosh!
But it was an implication of it.
Johnny
Ginger
Spaz,
Jesus.
stop spazzing.
Is that where the 10 Commandments come from?
The 10 Commandments! It's the Bill of Demandments is what it is. It's not the Bill of Rights, it's the Bill of Demandments.
Thou shalt know Twitter pate. Thou shalt love Twitter pate. Thou shalt obsess Twitter pate. Thou shalt preach Twitter pate. And 6 through 10 is
Thou shalt go into the valley of milk and honey in Twitter pate. That's what it is.
Let's not even talk about Merz's burning bush.
You know?
Merz's burning bush?
Burning bush in the dumpster.
There it is. We're done.
Wow.
We've hit the limit.
Hey, you
We have hit the limit. We have hit the limit.
Homegrown, man.
Holy.
Merz's limit has been reached.
Oh,
He is no longer with
wow.
us. He has disappeared behind his beard.
He is a hairball.
There is no more beard. There is no more Merz. Just beard. Pure beard.
Oh,
This isn't
Captain
even his-
Caveman.
Captain Unga Bunga.
Unga bunga 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 bunga.
Captain Caveman.
The Book of Merz.
You are.
This isn't even his final form.
It's like he transforms.
Ginger Jesus is Captain Caveman. Who knew?
Now the only thing that you get is my 5 head. It's probably a 6 head at this point.
He's
I like how it's just kind of falling away. My face is being revealed. Oh, it's amazing! Look at that! Oh, I love it! I love it!
This is our version of the Teletubbies sun face.
Okay. So what truly is awe-inspiring beyond Ben's amazingly trimmed and upkept, maintained goatee and mustache? Because you do that phenomenal. Oh my gosh, how long did it take you to find that? That was less than 7 seconds, don't worry, no DCMA.
Captain Caveman.
That was so everable.
One of the more everable things we've ever done.
I know, right?
True professionals here. Spare no
Everably
expense.
done.
Top.
I'm in awe of Merz's beard. Right?
Hey, how about those
How did this become about my beard?
WST shots, man? Oh, that's all inspiring.
It is. It is.
What?
I mean, it's
what?
Oh, the web.
James Webb Space Telescope, JWST,
Oh, okay.
on Merz.
I was trying to, foreshadow it, but I failed.
Your beard casts a very big shadow over it.
Oh, that would suck if I got in the way of one of the 18 panels.
I like how Merz's beard forms like an egg shape over his head, and he's born out of it.
Oh, look at that! And I mean, look at that. You got to do the comparison pictures, though, right? Like what we used to. Oh, there it is. What we used to see versus what we see now, which is awesome. Awe-inspiring.
Those were all the web ones. They were just in different light spectrum. Like they have
The one on the left
they have
is
the near cam.
Webb.
They got the near cam, and then
The
they
one
have,
on the right's Hubble.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. There's.
We just see more.
Oh, who's this guy?
Oh, look, who's this? Oh, who's this?
He doesn't know he was on SDJ featured.
Well, he was for a moment, but he did not have a nice goatee.
He got as much airtime as the cartoon Merz.
The cartoon Merz, yes, just enough not to get sued.
That was Ginger Gesus way back when.
Stop it!
He still had a club.
That can't be a thing. That's not going to become a thing.
Ginger Jesus. That's your superhero name.
His alter ego.
We gotta get you a
By
costume.
day he is Merz. By night he is.
Wow, look at
He
all
is
these.
cosmic as the universe itself.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those are
I
cool.
am truly inspired by science and what we discover every day.
Science, bitch.
And the speed at which we are discovering things, right? So since like 1800, it has just been this crazy, unstoppable, straight up.
Well, there's just, that's what fascinates me is the edge of human knowledge, and what this telescope's going to show us are new frontiers that we didn't know existed. And so for that, it's exciting. And imagine like people like from the 50s who would show up today out of nowhere, like maybe after a long coma or something, and they just wake up and they see, oh, we can look at pictures on frickin' Mars. We can zoom in. We have pictures of Pluto. We have like up close.
Well, we have rovers on Mars.
Yeah,
like we've landed on Mars. Not humans.
Helicopters. We got helicopters on Mars.
Yeah, we've like the drones. This is what would somebody from the 50s say to that? Like legitimately.
I'm surprised the Russians didn't do it first.
Hey,
they
squad with
said-
this guy.
They
There he
sent
is.
the probe to Venus. That's where we got our Venus pictures from.
Richard, so did you get a chance to see the photos?
I saw them, and at first I thought they were weird Jackson Pollock paintings, but I gotta say, they truly were something to behold. Like something out of the Jetsons, I tell you. Except, we're not in the Jetsons because we don't have flying cars, but thank God we got Snapchat filters.
We do have flying cars. We absolutely have flying cars.
Yeah, they're called planes.
No. We have like hovercraft now that one person pilots, and it's no problem. It just looks like a big drone.
It's not a
Like,
flying
we
car. It's a
legitimately
hover-
I've seen the Dubai, flying car for their patrol, and it looks like it's a bad, meat grinder waiting to happen.
Yeah, I like the rocket packs that they give to people that rescue people on mountains. Have you ever seen those videos? Where they can scale like a 5,000 foot mountain in like 2 or 3 minutes.
You mean Rocket Man?
Yeah, Rocket Man. Rocket Man.
Or the Rocketeer?
That's a Disney movie. That came
That's
out.
a Disney
Rocketeer was cool, actually.
I liked it. When it came out, I saw it was at 92, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was. I think you're right.
Yeah.
It might have been like 98. I don't know. It was
had
the
the action
90s for sure.
I had an action figure. Dude, speaking of action figures, hold on, it's off topic, but it's super important. Hasbro will 3D print your image on an action figure. It's a new thing.
Finally.
Will it be of quality? No.
I want my
Who needs flying
Ginger
cars?
Jesus action figure.
So you
Ginger
can.
Jesus.
I will make you one. It'll be made out of clay and bark.
I had a little
Water in
ginger.
the
I made it out of clay.
Oh my gosh, this is getting worse. So we went from Ginger Jesus to singing about a dreidel. Do the
No,
math
we're
on
singing
that.
about a ginger. That's what we're doing.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, if you look up Jetson 1, it is a flying car. So look it up. Jetson 1.
Of course. I like vacuum. I like the maid in Jetsons.
Rosie.
Rosie the robot? Rosie the Riveter robot?
You know, she turned into
Rosie the-
a robot. Like when somebody broke into the house or something, she had all kind of things packed into that.
Well, she did, you're right. Yeah, she would just open that. It was like Bender, kind of, from Futurama. Like, oh, I could just pull this out of my fucking chest cavity. No problem.
Quite awe-inspiring, that.
Hey, if I had a Rosie robot, it'd be awesome.
A Rosie, what?
Rosie robot.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you guys actually? So, what inspires you? I mean, I was mostly kidding, but
I've been waiting for this James Webb thing since it's been forever. Like when I first heard about it, I was like, "Oh, that's going to be amazing." I just, with all the crazy stuff that Hubble did, like the deep field view, for
Right.
Hubble.
Right.
They take something. It's like they said it was about the size of a penny or a soda straw, something
Rice
like
of
that.
grain of rice.
No. This was the Hubble. So
Oh.
the James Webb telescope was a grain of sand at arm's length holding out that size of the sky. If you can imagine what that is, with the size of a grain of salt or sand.
Rice.
or salt, same basic difference.
No, rice would be like...
Rice is much larger than a grain.
That's
of
what
sand.
Neil deGrasse said. I don't know. He doesn't always know what he's talking about.
Neil! Man, Neil, what
He's just an astrophysicist. No big
Yeah.
deal.
NGT! NGT! I love me. So Ben and I were there at the Hayden. We waited out in front of his office to see if he would come down the elevator and see if we could meet him.
Yeah.
How'd
We
that
were
work out?
He didn't come out.
We were standing him at his elevator. Never showed up.
He was probably there, though. We were in the same building as NDT's office where
Did
he
you
worked.
did you take any children with you?
Just me.
Oh, you mean, did we kidnap any children?
No. That's not what I meant at all. I just wanted to know if Johnny was with you.
Yes, I was. I just said it. I just said it. Look, we had the best seats in the planetarium, too. It was the best. Remember that, Ben? We had the two seats that were next to each other, a solo in the center of the thing, and it was like the best show ever.
But I just think about like Copernicus or these old school pioneers in space thought, and and they're staring through their telescopes, seeing the planets from afar and discovering things. And now
measuring
we
them.
have photos from on the planet, and just how mind-blowing that. I feel like we take that for granted. Like, we can see what it looks like on other worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Like these foreign things, like we can see with our own eyes. That is just, it's mind-blowing. I'll just stare at photos of other planets just for fun, just to imagine what it's like there. These other worlds. I mean, that's one thing that brings me awe.
I think that's an interesting part of it, right? Like you have Galileo, Copernicus,
Galileo. We're
Bruno.
going right back to the times of the Galileo where the church is having that kind of much power again. I mean, look what just happened. Anyway.
What?
Well. But if we just go with what they were discovering, right? Or what they were seeing, and then bringing that to light to other people. And then they were persecuted, as you were alluding to, Johnny, right? They were persecuted for it. It was a new thought. And I really like the... So there's two things with that. So one is, the more we know, the more we realize we don't know. Right? That circle always gets bigger. So once you know these things, like atoms, right? ATOMS. Once we knew there were atoms, well, then we had to go further, deeper, bigger, more, right? There's more to atoms.
Can't trust them, though.
But no, you can't trust anybody named Adam, especially He-Man. F that guy. I don't know. He was
They
just
make
Prince
up
Adam. That's what
everything.
came into my mind. the most famous Adam I know. But you start to realize how much you don't know. And then you go and discover that. And I think that's an interesting phenomenon that we experience as humans. The more that we understand about something, the more we are curious and want to know more about what we don't know about it. That sounded convoluted, but...
I'm excited. They're pointing the web towards Jupiter, I believe, very soon, if not right now.
That's awesome.
That's going to be, like, when you can see infrared light, we're going to be probably able to see through a lot of the cloud formations on, if you look at Jupiter and you look at the New Horizons, I believe it was, the photos. The one that took the Pluto pictures, they did they passed Jupiter on the way out. I'm, like, super space nerdy. One of my bucket list things was going to New York City, the Hayden Planetarium, and that was awesome.
What'd you do there?
We went to the Natural History Museum, and we went to the planetarium show. We didn't have a whole lot of days in New York, but we spent every bit of it taking advantage of that stuff, which was cool.
That sounds like a good trip, a good destination, right? If you're going to go visit New York, visit that.
It was fun. Yeah, I mean, you go to the Met, you can go to the Natural History Museum, you go to all the different... there's so many things to see there. If you had a month and you did something every day, like all day, you wouldn't see it all.
Did you see the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah.
I mean, not did you see it? Did you go to...
Ben married me in front of the Statue of Liberty on a yacht on Halloween, dressed as Roger Rabbit to Jessica Rabbit. And Miss Rabbit didn't even remember it because she was a little tipsy.
Yes, I am a dudist priest
You are.
from the
Officiated my
Church
wedding.
of the Dude.
I'm still waiting on my paperwork.
Did you really get married?
Only if you mean by Ben said the things. And
No, okay, yeah, that doesn't... No. So you never filed the paperwork is what I'm really asking.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the paperwork from my officiator.
I have legitimately officiated a wedding, and they did legitimately get married, and we did legitimately file the paperwork. So, yeah, I'm part of the, what is it, ULC, I think?
Pastor Merz over here.
I don't choose the term pastor, but that's fair.
Yeah, I dubbed the married by the fourth tenet of the 10 Commandments. You hereby...
The 10 Commandments? Those are my favorite commandments!
He's got a pocket demandment.
They're part of the Bill of Demandments. The first 10 Commandments of the United States demand the tuition.
Demanditution.
I have a copy of it in my back pocket.
It's part of his MAGA movement, Make America Galileo Again.
Galilean? Make America Galilean again?
Galileo!
I know, I get it. I like it. Galileo, Figaro.
Figaro.
Cut the music and Ben, this is where we get sued. Come on. It's Bohemian Rhapsody. We can talk about it. We just can't play it.
Galilean Rhapsody.
Oh, we can
Galilean.
play it. We just get demonetized.
Oh, yeah, that's right. DMC to DCM.
Well, thankfully we got We got Pastor Merz to take away the demons that are demonizing us.
Oh, Ginger Gesus!
Demonetized. Oh, we got to keep that. That's a good joke right there. I like that, Square 50s guy. Or Josh, or whoever you are at this point.
It depends on the time of day.
It does. It really does.
Shall be everable.
Yeah.
I have called you at 10 o'clock at night, and I'm not sure who you're going to be at that point.
Pretty sure you never called me at 10 o'clock at night, Merz.
Yes, I did, like 4 years ago when we were in a play.
Setting an alarm.
I certainly called you at some point in time
That
at 10
one
o'clock
time.
at night.
Probably, yeah. To like find out. We were like lost. Like, dude, where are you?
Where are we going? Are we going to?
Right.
Are we going to Sidekicks? What was the name of that establishment?
Sexy dad jokes,
in the
late night.
parking lot?
I mean, oh, you mean home plate?
Home plate. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Home plate.
Do it, Ben. Do the
By Red
sexy
Curtain
dad
Theater.
after dark.
Oh, it's After Dark. That's what it was.
After dark.
Come on, we just made
Talk
the
about
thing for it.
smoke robes and
Smoke robes?
You gotta do the song.
You mean
man.
smoking jackets?
What song?
no, I mean like
After dark
pulling off the Hugh. What was his name? Hugh Hefner stuff. Just the full on.
I think that's a smoking jacket, isn't it?
No, it was like I thought it was. Wasn't it? I don't know.
Oh, maybe it's a smoking robe. I don't know. I know what you're
That's what-
talking. I know the image that you're talking about.
Sexy dad jokes after dark.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting a little bit hot and bothered when Ben talks like that. Just a little though.
Don't be ashamed to Twitter pate while listening to the jams.
Just vibing. Vibing like you don't even know. I cannot support that stance. Nobody said I have to wear pants. I had a little bell that I could ring for service. This is the jam. The SDJ jam. The sexy
SDJ
dad.
After Dark.
Sexy dad jams.
Johnny Spaz with another sexy song for us here. Wow. Yeah, for all you listeners out there, Johnny does all of our music, our original music here.
He does. He's really good at it too.
Thank you.
And
thank
Square
you.
50s guy / Josh writes everything.
He does.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty phenomenal.
He is very
Ex-
phenomenal.
The Square 50s guy theme isn't Johnny, but almost everything else is.
All the
Nice.
show sounds that are.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to take credit for yeah.
I was gonna say da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I love that one. The 11-year-old sings it sometimes. It's hilarious. Well, I do. So we saw the pictures of the Carina Nebula, right?
Yeah.
That's the one they just were taken with the web.
Mhm.
Did you know that there's 18 mirrors on the web?
Hexagonal.
Yep. And that they're not really aligned yet. They're getting aligned, is my understanding.
I thought they
haven't-
were. I thought they finally aligned.
Did they finally get it?
I believe so.
Okay.
I read an article.
I just can't. News Team Assemble. It's one of the best.
Hell yeah.
It's an amazing farce. What a great movie.
Yeah, I think I tried to talk about some of this stuff in episode 10, Death, Taxes, and Manliness. I think it got a little, the message got a little lost.
It wasn't
But-
aligned. They hadn't aligned the message mirrors.
Yeah.
Mirrors.
But I love this stuff. The vastness of the cosmos, dark matter, dark energy, quantum mechanics, the double slit experiment, string
Yeah.
theory, multiple dimensions. Then we got
Quantum tunneling.
Well, yeah, quantum tunneling.
That's basically transport, teleportation with like Star Trek shit, right?
quantum
quantum
entanglement.
Yeah.
That's like how you can have two particles
Two things
that are
at the same time.
and they could be millions of light years apart, and one will affect the other instantly.
How?
How does that work?
Quantum entanglement.
We don't know. We have no idea.
But we know that it
Crazy.
happens.
We know it happens.
We witness it, which means there has to be a way that it works.
We have a sense of some of the rules that govern it, but we don't understand why. It's fascinating. And then there's consciousness and the double slit experiment I mentioned. We've got like psychedelics and the heroic dose. We've got the near-death experiences. And string theory is all about vibrations and frequencies. So it's like, how do we get ourselves to exist in higher frequencies so that we're like more evolved rather than focusing on the negative and being negative at a lower frequency? How do we live high frequency lives?
Low frequency people. That's been like a staple in my life. I've been surrounded by low frequency people in like my youth, especially.
And I think that
people,
that,
you know what I mean?
That conversation is like how I like to connect the cosmos, the vastness of the cosmos, the universe, with our own kind of daily lives and the daily challenges we all face. We all live in this wondrous universe.
Yeah, that's all of the things that you're saying is awe-inspiring, right? Like, take a moment to think.
Right.
And
any one of those
think,
things.
But feel what that means, right? Which is the whole, like, going back to the Square 50s guy and stop and smell the roses and take a moment to appreciate all of these different things that I feel like at this point in time in the conversation, it is out of my league. These are things that I've scratched the surface of even knowing they exist.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Quantum tunneling, quantum entanglement, all the other things that we just listed that I just go, oh my gosh, it's mind-boggling. And I think that is the crux of the issue, is to appreciate that indescribable part of our existence.
I think Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. If I'm not mistaken. I think that's what he.
It was something very close to that. If that wasn't it, you're right.
It was one of those things. You know what I think about? Speaking of cosmos, I wonder what would happen if NDT did DMT.
How do you know he hasn't?
I don't know.
Maybe that's why he is what he is.
Maybe.
He goes home and does a little bit of microdosing, and that's that. I don't know. It is said that expands your brain, and we're using microdosing to treat things like dementia and Parkinson's and other
psilocybin.
Psilocybin.
Yeah. We're using psilocybin. This is real. Like, this is real science that's happening right now. We're experimenting with that.
Like chronic, like addicted smokers, and like one treatment went from being a 2-pack a day person to like never touching it again. And it's been like, it was like 80 something weird 80%. Crazy number.
Very effective
of success rate. And they're also using it in treatment for like trauma victims and people that are on hospice care, stuff like that.
Yeah, like terminally ill cancer patients report, like the vast majority report no longer 4 out of 5 report no longer fearing death after psilocybin treatments. Like, what is going on there, right?
How can that be? These are the things, at least for me, and I won't speak for you three, obviously, but for me, that is shocking, amazing. I can't wrap my head around it and have a thought about it. I can barely even feel anything about it because it's so outlandish. It's so extreme that it's difficult for me to grasp the concept.
I don't think I've ever had a psilocybin experience.
Yeah, I
I've
I
had
have
lots.
not engaged in it because I want it to be a guided experience, but I've done like a lot of research on it. And for me, this journey started when I had cancer. Gosh, I don't know how long has it been? Like
3 years, 4
6
years?
or 7 years ago.
Oh, that long? Has it?
Yeah, it's
has been a
2014.
while.
Actually,
Yeah, that makes
so
sense.
8.
almost
it's about
10 years.
8 years.
8 years, yeah. Anyways, that's an existential crisis, and I was very much facing my mortality, and just started like reading. Someone gave me a book about near-death experiences, and kind of like what's the anecdotal evidence for life after death, and this is where science kind of falls short because we can't prove or disprove it. Scientific method doesn't work as well with the non-physical realm. But it's just because you can't test it doesn't mean there aren't things happening.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, there's a ton of evidence in the form of qualitative data from just the accounts of people, the interviews, and when it comes to near-death experiences, like the accounts are strikingly consistent and similar. This sense of timelessness when you're in that realm, like time is not happening. There is no time, and so something that you could be out for 5 minutes, you could be in this other realm for days. And this feeling of just utter love and acceptance and tranquility.
Serene.
Dude, that makes
what's
me
the
think
other
of
word? There's one more word that goes with those two: tranquil, serene, and
Everable?
what was that?
Never mind.
Never mind.
Oh, it's
Everable.
not everable. But there is a third word that goes with and that. How do you express a feeling to somebody?
Oh, and they say that words fail us.
Right.
We don't have the language to describe it. Like,
How do you
What's
express
going
a
on there?
feeling to somebody? We get what empathy means. It means that I feel the feeling that you're feeling at the same time. But how do I describe that feeling to somebody else that isn't feeling it?
and I've always been very skeptical of like religion. I think religion is an institution that whose interests are not always aligned with our spiritual needs. It's their institutions. And also just like, how do you know, like, it's true what this ancient book is telling us? Like, that's all we got to go by is one ancient book that's been edited and revised over the
Nobody knows who
hundreds
wrote
of
it either.
years.
There's lots of religions out there.
Yeah,
But
everywhere
I
there's
think
everywhere there's a human species, anywhere there's humans, there is a religion, save for one place, and it's an island chain somewhere in the
South Pacific?
Asia, near your Asia, or like this, South
So
Pacific.
South Pacific area.
And I can't recall. There actually was several books written about this one community of Pacific Islanders, I would guess is the way it would describe the people, but because they weren't part of a nation, they were just indigenous people to this area. And World War II, when they started
And they had the
worshiping
planes, and they worshipped the planes.
they worshipped all these
Airplanes.
So
That was one of the big things they built out of bamboo was an airplane. Why did they build a bamboo airplane?
But
They had never been talked to by anybody. Like they were
the
totally...
airfields and like the radio equipment they made, like reconstructed it out of natural things like wood and stuff. But
bamboo and stuff, yeah.
yeah. And,
But yeah, I've always been skeptical of religion as an institution.
Organized religion.
But what I have come around to is getting more in touch with my spiritual self. And I think there was a time when I was even skeptical of like life after death and that there is a non-physical realm. you know, you only know what you see in front of you, right? How can you believe in some realm that you cannot experience and feel and touch and sense? And
Like the Earth is flat.
well, yeah, I'm not. Gonna
It's
get
a
into
global
that,
conspiracy.
but what I've come around to is like, just through all my research and all the evidence I've seen, is there is something at play here that we don't understand, and that even just our state of consciousness can impact our realities. So like the mindset that we have, like our thoughts aren't invisible. Our thoughts matter. And I always thought it doesn't matter what you're thinking. Those are invisible. What matters are your actions and what you say. But I've come to learn even your thinking like matters and will impact. You can, you know, some of you might have heard the term, you can manifest your reality based on what you're focused on. And I thought that was some, you know, like The Secret, you know, some like,
I was going to say.
some
The Celestine
trendy, stupid, yeah, like
Isn't that one of
Scientology, you know, like
Yeah, Scientology, Celestial Prophecy,
Yeah.
and the
But I don't
Secret.
know.
Those are all.
The concept that our mindset can determine our reality. I bought into it during some hard times in the past couple years or so.
But we've proven that, haven't we?
What will it
It's
hurt
like
for me to
double
try
split.
this out? And so I tried it out, and lo and behold, it worked. And yeah, Merz, like there are science does speak to
Yes.
something going on. The double slit experiment, where a particle is a wave, or a photon becomes a wave or a particle, depending on whether we're observing it.
Well, I think
observing.
that's incorrect. Hold on a second. I think it's about not observing. It's about measuring. So once you make a measurement,
Well, the measurement is the observation.
right, but it's not a conscious. This is a heavily disputed thing, and I'm not expert. I just know that there's people.
None of us.
The idea of a consciousness and a measurement get conflated, is what I'm saying.
Well,
Okay, well, I don't know. To me, it's evidence
interesting.
of consciousness.
so,
and the
something
effect of it.
changes when that happens.
Yeah, because
Or am I
whether or
wrong?
not you're observing it will determine
when
what state
something
it
is measured, but that goes to and Sean Carroll explains this in the way I've heard it explained very well. And if you all are interested in looking up, just type in Sean Carroll and double slit experiment. I'm sure it'll come up.
Sean, SEAN, the correct way.
Yeah,
SHAUN, SHAWN, SEAN. Okay.
Carroll, Carroll, I think, something like that. Anyway, he's got a podcast, and he's
Well, so you're saying that
Cal
it's not
fact.
a consciousness thing?
well.
What's
it's
the point of this?
So if you think of something as a wave function, and you think of superposition, where something it's about probability. You know, things can be within a probability distribution. So then you would take something, and once you observe it or measure it, it becomes there, and then you could kind of parlay that to the quantum tunneling thing, where it's like if it's here in this direction, then in wherever the other side is in the opposite direction. That's what they mean. Like that's how they can tell, and you can do this on small scales. But when you increase the scale,
Right. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. When you increase the
But
scale.
again,
it
I'm not
doesn't
an
work.
expert on this. This is just I'm a space nerd. I like to follow this stuff out of a passion that I have for trying to understand something I have no understanding of. It's just
okay.
interesting.
I do have a serious question for you, Johnny Spaz. Because this is what it reminds me of. If a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around to hear it, does it make a sound?
Yeah. Of course.
I don't know, unless it's observed.
Well,
Yeah, I mean
something
that's
about some of it.
the question.
It's
I mean,
a silly
no one here to
silly
hear
thing,
it. No one.
Well-
It's not the same as saying that if something makes a sound in space, can you hear it? No, because
because there's no wind, there's no atmosphere to move the sound through. That's different. That's way different.
that's
Then
right. That's what
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? is sound only observable?
There
I don't
are
know.
some who argue that if it's not observed, then it doesn't happen. Like if the entire world does not look at the moon, does the moon exist in that moment?
That's
a thought experiment.
the Carina Nebula.
I'm not entirely
Is this
convinced y'all
Schrodinger's
are
cat?
constructs of my imagination. How do I know you don't exist when I'm not
I mean,
here?
that's simulation theory. Right?
This is my dream. Why the fuck are you in it?
No, this is my dream.
And where did Schrodinger come from? There wasn't even cardboard boxes.
Oh,
Why
the
is it
cat?
cats and the dogs?
Well, but it is. It's like
Kill
well,
the
the cat
cat
dead, the
syndrome.
cat alive.
Yeah,
The cat
that's
is
good.
all of those things
Right.
at that moment because you
Until
don't
you
know
look. Until you look.
until you look.
That's
And
the
this is
same as superposition, right? That's like the way I understood it, the way it was explained. It is something isn't until you see it. So
and this is where it begins to get out of my league.
it's a probability.
And not that I'm that smart. I'm not that smart.
The tree falling in the forest. If a tree falls in the forest, does the Pope shit in the woods?
No. The bear shits in the woods. The Pope shits in the golden toilet. And somehow there's a bunch of smoke that happens, and they decide the new Pope.
The tree
Bad
question.
parts of the kitchen in Florida.
Holy shit.
Do sexy dad jokes people hear it in Washington.
Yeah.
Let's see if you can observe it.
Nope. Didn't hear anything.
Didn't hear it.
Nope.
So it didn't exist.
Didn't happen. Johnny doesn't actually fart. That's the thing. Johnny doesn't fart because if I can't smell it and I can't see it and I can't hear it and I can't taste it and I can't feel it, it doesn't exist.
You know the old saying, he who smelt it dealt it.
Johnny.
He who made the noise, they dealt the noise.
The tree question. I would actually argue that the
It's a branching question.
Let's
trees.
Let's get twiggy with it.
The other trees and the plants and everything, they have consciousness too, and they observe it. So then it does make a sound.
My question is, think of that little tiny red dot galaxy that they found. It was like 13.3 billion years ago, and you're seeing it as it was 13.3 billion years ago. Like, does Ginger Gesus exist there too?
Oh my gosh. Ginger Jesus didn't exist until you fucking said it, Johnny Spaz. Then it existed. Now I am here.
You spoke it into reality.
Why would you do that?
Because.
Can we have a salt and pepper Jesus?
I mean, you can have all kind of Jesus in many wills theory. My thing
Salt and
is,
pepper. Let's talk about
Salt and
sex,
pepper.
baby. Salt and pepper.
I had a theory about this. I seriously thought about this. I was like, if we understand how like time and space and being able to travel at certain speeds is, it's very unlikely we'll ever venture to another galaxy, right? Given our technology today, for example.
Yeah, but wait.
Today.
Couldn't the multiverse be the other galaxies are a different version of our galaxy, but it's just a different version of it, and we all exist in every galaxy at the same time? But we would never be able to know because you can never travel there.
I just want to go back to if a tree falls in the woods, it doesn't make a sound.
But then, we're on a
I would
crash
say,
course. We're
it
in a
was
crash
witnessed.
course with, what's it called?
By
What's
other
the-
trees?
Yeah,
what's the
by
other,
other
what's
trees.
the other galaxy that's coming out right at us?
The
Because
other
when
galaxy
you
that's coming right at us. Oh my god, it's gonna fucking hit us!
They collide.
when you do psychedelics, you realize that we're all like all the trees and plants are fully conscious. They talk to each other. All this stuff.
I've done a lot of psychedelics. A lot. Enough. I've done enough. Not maybe a lot, but I've done enough. But yeah, it is significantly different. It is a you realize and recognize different things.
I'm weird. I feel like my spirituality was ripped from me, from the world, just existing. And
Yeah.
I find a lot of stuff interesting. Like, I don't know the answers. I don't make positive claims as in there is no God, there is no whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, to me, I don't.
Wouldn't that be a negative claim? There is
I'm not claiming that. I'm not claiming there is not.
There is
that
no. This is a
would be
positive
the
claim.
burden of proof would be on me to say that to prove that there is no. I don't.
Yeah.
think that's going on.
Proving a
going on.
negative. Yeah, proving a negative is fucked up. I don't even understand that. There's nothing that I understand. That's the thing. I'm just a dumpster fire.
Okay, here's one.
Earth management.
Okay, so this is the deep
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
deep space photo. We're looking at
galaxies, except
Like-
for that stars with the 8.
yeah,
with
when
eight.
the universe was how old? Like 400 million years old or something.
3, yeah, something like that.
Looking way back into history right here. All those little dots you see, those aren't stars. Those are
Galaxies.
entire
Yeah.
galaxies.
Except
Some
for
of
the
them
ones
are
with the 8
multiple
little lines on.
galaxies that are behind one another, making them even brighter.
That's
And-
gravitational lensing. You can see behind that in the center, lower center area, behind, underneath to the right side of that big.
Don't call me lensing, and don't call me gravitational. You already called me Ginger Jesus. We're not going to do the gravitational fucking bullshit again, Johnny. Every
gravitational
time with
lensing.
this,
It bends light.
Support that stance.
you just
You
come
are
at
getting
me
a-
with these positive negatives.
Jesus.
But wait,
Why?
let's-
Why did you say Jesus? Stop it!
but so each of these pieces of points of light are entire galaxies.
Yeah.
Now, all the
For the ones that are-
one of the
look like-
most famous lines in all of cinema history, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
Galaxy, far, far away.
You see that
All
one?
that
left.
entire Star Wars saga and all the technology we see going into what light speed or whatever,
Well, can
it
I
all takes place in one galaxy.
accept? Well,
And Star Trek is the same thing. All
It's-
takes place in one galaxy.
yeah, delta quadrant, gamma, all the quadrants, right? But one thing that you have to understand is all of that is measured in less than 12 parsecs.
The Kessler
Yeah.
run?
What is a parsec?
Who shot first, though?
It's a measurement
Han.
of distance.
That's
It
one
happened
of
in
your
less than
favorite lines.
5 miles.
No, I like who shot first, Han or fucking Greedo, and it was Han every time. I don't care how they
Yeah, Han
edited
didn't
Disney.
do it in human nectar.
I heard Disney might put out the original cut of A New Hope
God, I hope so.
on Disney Plus.
One would hope that they would put out all the original.
One would
everything.
hope they do A New Hope the right way.
A New
true
Hope
way.
never existed until the prequel came out.
Right? Did A
It was
New
just
Hope
called
exist?
Star Wars.
Yeah, right. It was never A New Hope. It was Star Wars. It still is Star Wars.
Yeah.
But anyways, I wanted to bring that up.
But anyways, let's get back to the fucking
All
universe
of-
a long time ago.
Sand at arm's length.
Just to
Contains
give
all
you
the-
a sense of scale. That's the other thing that's awe-inspiring to me, the sense of scale.
Yeah.
Like how giant the universe is, or the Milky Way is, a galaxy is. How giant our galaxy, the Milky Way, is. It'll take hundreds of billions of years for us to like get around our black hole that we're orbiting. But
Whoa,
Like-
whoa.
but our entire galaxy is just a speck in the universe. It's mind-boggling.
I think that brings us back, right? I think that brings us back to taking a moment to slow down, be inspired, and as you were saying, Ben, like once you open up to that, once you open that up for your life and are more accepting of everything that you don't know, and then focusing on the positive, like those flowers. Thank you, Johnny Spaz. Those are very gorgeous. I don't think
As a
they're
carnivore, I'm offended.
real. I want to be a Brontosaurus Rex. I think that we need to take a moment to slow down and be shocked, be inspired, and appreciate. I think it's the appreciation and being not gracious, but showing, not gratuity. What is that word? It's like
Perpetuity?
nah. It's,
Graciousness,
yeah, it's kinda like
Gratitude?
gracious. Gratitude. There it is. That's the word.
attitude of gratitude. That's a big part of Like
Being grateful.
manifesting good things in your life is having that attitude of gratitude.
I will say this. You know what? You know who I've been listening to at the recommendation of some good friends of mine? Louise Hay. She's like it's all about the spirituality and manifesting your own future kind of thing. So we were talking about it. It's like calling things into your existence by like self-talk and positive affirmation.
Yeah.
And leading down that road, which that is where it kind of crosses the lines with the toxic masculinity. You know what I mean? I feel like these things are intertwined, kind of woven together. It's actually been helpful to me, given that I'm a kind of a hardcore agnostic atheist that has had the spirituality ripped from me as a way of thinking. Not a religious thing, but it's just, certain things are more difficult.
You love dogs and you hate cats, and that's okay.
No, I love cats and dogs. I like both. I like coffee and tea.
It is a matter of...
Spaz hates, what was it? The sauerkraut.
Oh my
sauerkraut, that's right.
Oh, yeah, bring it up. I can't even envision it.
Look at that last name. Look at that last name. Look at that last name and tell me how much you hate sauerkraut. God, fucking
Merz.
Oh,
Merz! I am Merz!
Mess.
But no, I think it is a matter of... I think what we've been talking about, at least for me, has been show the gratitude for everything that amazes me, that inspires me, that I am awestruck by. Like, be grateful for that. I am grateful that the Webb telescope is up there and that is taking these pictures because, oh my gosh, I am talking...
Don't take it for granted. Be grateful for it.
I'm talking with 3 of my friends about what I'm grateful for and what inspires me and the roses that I do fail quite often in life to stop and smell.
Yeah. I love it. I love what you just said, Merz. Holy shit.
But it is great to be with you guys discussing what we should be grateful for.
Yeah, I like it.
The attitude of gratitude is, and again, going back to this concept that our thoughts aren't invisible.
3, 4, 5.
No, that's it. I'll be back in a minute. That's when we count. But this concept that our thoughts aren't invisible and can actually play a role in manifesting what our realities are. The attitude of gratitude is a vital part of that. I've had some hard situations recently. One example would be my partner got COVID, and so she was isolated, quarantined in the room, and it was like I had to take care of Glow, I had to try to work, I had to do all the meal prep, and it was intense. And I got a taste of single parenting life. I don't know how you all do it, single parents, but it was a tough situation. And it would have been really oh wow. It would have been really easy for me to
Ginger Jesus strikes again.
To get into like despair and self-loathing and woe is me, and I caught myself and said, no, I'm going to have an attitude of gratitude. This is a rare chance for me to spend extended quality time with my daughter that I'll probably look back on and cherish. So instead of cherishing the memory, I'm going to cherish the present. And really being focused on yourself in the moment, and that's really mindfulness. Like, all we really have in our existence is the now. And if we spend our life energy in the now focused on the past, past traumas or whatever, or focused on the future. Oh, I'm stressed out because I have a hard work meeting coming up next week. So I'm going to spend all of my moments thinking about something in the future that may or may not happen. No, focus on the now. And that doesn't mean you don't plan ahead and you make plans for the future, but don't fall into the trap of getting lost in something else other than this precious moment that we have right now and what is on your head, Mike Merz.
So that is literally, as I said, I'll be right back. I have a little bit of a divergent brain. My brain goes places. And we're literally talking about stopping and smelling the roses, which are literally growing in my yard.
Oh.
And I have never stopped and smelled
Whoa.
them. I have never once stopped and smelled the roses that are growing in my fucking yard. So
Right now,
Jones first.
I'm going to stop
Exclusive.
Do it, Tony Montana.
and smell the rose
Wow.
that grows in my yard.
wow,
Which
In
I've
your
never
yard,
done
that
before.
flower?
What's that?
Just go outside and clip that flower.
I literally went outside and picked it. That's what I said. I'll be right back. Because I was literally going to go outside and stop and smell the roses, which is what I did during our episode. And not because I'm so special, but because I've never done that.
Well,
So thanks for sharing that moment with me, fellas
Wow.
and audience.
What does it smell like?
Roses. I've smelled
How
them
did you know
before.
what
It's not like I've
Rose
never
smell
smelled
like?
a rose.
What is the smell?
Oh, now we're going to start to get into how do we fucking explain emotions and empathy is a thing. Oh, my fucking God. I can't help it.
Smells.
Let me get it. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so I am feeling jealous and frustrated, and I can't read these because they're all backwards.
The emotional turkey wheel.
I know it is funny when I put it behind me and I sit down a little bit.
No, that is like the holy crowns that you have Jesus things.
Ginger Jesus' halo.
Ginger Jesus.
Emotional halo wheel.
Ginger Jesus.
Ginger
Okay, well, so
Oh,
the point of this episode was to talk about the things that give us awe.
Keep it
And
light, man.
and to try to remember when the going gets tough in day-to-day life, don't sweat the small stuff. It's so wow. It's the universe is so much bigger than we can comprehend, and let's instead spend the energy being in awe of such things. I was driving to a soccer game a few weeks ago, and I was on the I-5, and two cars in front of me,
Wait,
leftmost lanes, just stopped. Like, dead stop on the freeway. And they're right next to each other, and it looked like one of the cars was yelling at the other car. I'm like, oh, they are stopped. So I, like, slam on my brakes. I have to, like, veer off of the freeway to avoid hitting them. Thank God I didn't collide with them. The car behind me wasn't so lucky. Didn't see them, like, smashed into them. Dude's car was wrecked, just totaled. The axle is sticking out, and
oh wow, that's
bad.
When it goes out the side.
Dead stop on the freeway. This dude did not even slow down, just slammed right into them. And one of the cars, two kids, I mean, not like in their 20s, they get out. They
Josh.
One runs to one car and is yelling at them, slamming on the window. Another one runs to the other car and is yelling at them. And it's like, dude is just sitting there in a daze, just got in this wreck. His car is totaled. Wasn't his fault. It's these idiots who are just stop on the freeway. And I was like, all of this because I think there was a road rage thing going on. And it's like, cause all of this trouble for some stupid thing that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The world is so much bigger. Let's spend that energy being in awe of that and not raging on some idiot on the freeway.
No, that's a yeah. Why is that happening? Like,
I had an
I'll
incident
tell you.
yesterday.
So I'll think about it. and I'll just say this. Well, it sounds like they weren't grateful for what they have. They're literally on Interstate 5 in one of the most developed countries in the world, in one of the most beautiful places to live in the world, the Pacific Northwest. They're driving in a car, going wherever they're going, paying for the gas that is outrageously priced, but they can afford it, and yet the only thing that they have time for at that moment was to fight.
People
Not to be grateful for the car they're driving. I realize that it isn't a flying car, but if you look up Jetson 1, it's a flying car. But seriously, I mean, take it back to what we were saying earlier, right? Like, there's no flying cars. Well, these guys, flying cars or not, they're not going to have gratitude for what they have. And it is certainly something that I need to work on. I know that. I recognize that about myself.
I think we all do, though, Merz. I don't think it's, I think that's something we all struggle with, at least at times.
Certainly. I just can't speak for anybody else except for myself, which is...
I had an experience yesterday. So recently, in the last week or so, I've had 2 incidents of road rage, in a sense. And it's like... And it got... my anger got the better of me, but it ended good. Like yesterday, it happened yesterday. I had a whole bunch of errands to do. I'm going to make a long story in a 1-minute version. I had errands to do. I took my dog with me. Recently, my other dog I had to put down, and it's been very emotional. And
That's tough.
I've been taking my other dog with me. I had him in the car. He's in the back. I have a thing for them to sit in, and we were just chilling. We were having a really good day, and then all of a sudden, I'm just driving, listening to the radio, not so loud because my dog's with me, and some guy in a big pickup truck is behind me, like riding my ass and like beeping his horn at me. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm in the left lane of a 2-lane highway, and I'm following the distance in front of me. I'm a very safe driver. I was a safety. I worked at UPS, and I was safety co-chair for 6 of my 10 years. So I look at driving a little different than maybe your average person because it was my job. I mean, it's like anything else. You experience something as your job, you notice it.
Less than a minute.
Right. Anyway, so he like cut me off in a turn left lane arrow, almost hit another person if I didn't hit my brakes, and my dog almost went into the front seat because I'm like, oh no.
Because he was making his fucking point.
So I followed him.
I've never done that. I don't know what you're talking about.
And we ended up in a parking lot, and he wanted to fight me. He came up to my car, and I was videoing. I videoed the whole thing. I have a little holder in my car, and I could put it up there, and I put it on there, and he came up to my window on my car, and he was like, I'm a disgruntled vet. The guy had army stickers all over his car, so I'm like, I got to talk to this guy. There's no way I'm letting this slide. Long story short, he took my phone from me, like reached in my car, took my phone from me, and I was like, give me my phone back. And he gave me my phone back, and I was like, look, you almost killed me. And the other person, it was an old lady in the car. I saw her face when it happened. It was an instant, but I saw it. And I was like, I said, name and rank, go. And his tune changed. And I was like, is your CO in your division? Would he accept that behavior? I said, no. I said, I don't care what you're in. I said, somebody dying because right now, I said, what you did was just dangerous for everybody.
So he was still in? Is he still in?
At the end of the day, he apologized to me.
Yeah,
we ended up fist bumping, and he invited me to his house for beers.
Right,
so
Johnny's bad.
I was thinking about SDJ. I was like, what would we do? We recognize this
house for beers, Johnny. We'd go to his house for beers.
So it was just like, I'm very impassioned about toxic drivers, like people that don't know how to drive. Seriously, don't know how to drive. Most people don't know how to drive. They don't know.
That wasn't him. He's got something else going on.
Yeah, he's got other stuff.
But I need to go have a fucking beer with him.
I was like,
he needs a hug is what he needs.
I don't know about that. I don't like hugs. But
a 1 minute story turned into 5 minutes high rate, so I apologize.
No, it was only 3.5. It's fine.
Good.
That's a great story.
It wasn't intense. It was an intense.
You had
experiment.
every reason to go up and pick a fight with this guy, but you instead made your point. You made your point very known, but then you tried to see what was going on for this guy. What's underneath the water instead of the tip of the iceberg? There's a whole other structure under the water, right? You're trying to get a sense of what's going on with this guy, and you freaking ended up brightening his day. when sounds like he has some trauma that he's probably working through. So
it made me think of that when you said like people are just poised to fight. When you say it's like we don't stop to appreciate what we have. We're just in this fight mode. It made me think of that. I'm like, bro, I said, no matter, I understand being in a rush. I understand you're not much of a rush. You're able to pull on the side of the road and fight me. So it's like,
right? How much of a rush are you in if you want to stop and have a fucking fight?
Right.
What the fuck is wrong with you? That's not a rush.
You don't know who that person is. I figured he was all right because he had the military things, and I know the type. I've been in years. You know, I'm just like, look, I'm not gonna. I'm one of those people. I won't back down.
Fuck yeah, right there with you, man.
And but I also trying to lead with compassion. It made me think of Russell, like compassion, focused therapy. You know, it's like I'm thinking, I'm like this guy is being a real jerk, and I don't think that's who he is at his core. And I was able to kind of, for the first time, at least be aware of being to the next point.
That's
it's like
wonderful.
This guy came out of his truck, ripped his shirt off. I knew he was serious.
What do you think? So it's not so much that we're focused on the fight. It's the lack of acknowledgement for what you should be grateful for. Gratitude, I think. So what is that guy grateful for? Is he grateful for his truck? His time in the service? His family, his friends, his kids? What? Right? Like, what is he not being grateful for? And it's not to say like, it's to recognize all of the good in your life and balance that with the shitty day that you're having and you're 5 minutes late to pick up your daughter or whatever the fuck was going on in his life.
He was on his way to work, he said. I'm like, whatever, dude.
And he hates his job.
Well,
or whatever.
Merz, what you're saying is like, okay, this is where his head should be at. It should be more about gratitude. With Johnny, what?
I don't think it should be. It's not like a command. It's a it's a reminder. It's a reminder. What are you grateful for? I think.
And with Johnny, I think I'm really impressed with how you handled yourself because, you know, in this world, we can't control what others do. We can only control what we do. And you were you were coming from a place of compassion. I mean, standing up for yourself.
I'm a protector at heart.
You're standing up for yourself, but then you engage with this guy, and that could have ended very badly for all involved. But because you were able to listen to this person and try to empathize and see where this person's coming from, you were able to turn that around into a completely different exchange.
I hope he remembers that and then thinks twice about, you know, being unsafe and putting other people at risk. Because when you're in a car, you're everyone is always, you know, you don't think about that stuff in your day to day most likely unless you're in a position that I was in for so long. And you know, I was part of the group where we would go up to accidents on route. It was my job. I showed up there. I had to report these things and then give training to all the staff. You know, I would get up in front of 1,000 people every single day and do safety demonstrations. So it's important to me. It's like something I learned in the military, safety first. It's like they used to tell you, they're like, well, you make a mistake in the military, you make a mistake with what you're doing, you're not going to know with it. Everyone else will be left to clean up the mess of the mistake you made. So put that at the forefront of your mind when you do anything in that context. It kind of sticks with you in a method, in a way of thinking, you know, a safe way of thinking. And that's why I did it. I was elected, if you want it, not elected.
I was elected.
I was voluntold to do it. So.
Are you pulling out a Liberty license? A little Constitution?
Yeah,
I was elected.
Not the right word, but I was given that. They're like, oh, you can do this, good, go. And now it's your new job. I always get collateral duties, it seems.
Well, I think a couple lessons here: the attitude of gratitude when things are going bad. Try to focus on what you're grateful for. When I witnessed that car wreck, I can tell you I was very grateful for my health in that moment.
Yep.
I actually, real quick before we close out here, had a kind of a similar experience. I was in a drive-through, and the car behind me was trying to inch forward so that he could place his order, and I guess I wasn't up enough for him to get to the speaker, but I couldn't go up any further because of what was happening in front of me. So this dude just starts cussing me out and yelling at me, and it's like, yo, I can't go any further. And yeah, I'm not one to back down either. So I freaking got out of my car and started
Beat the shit out of him.
Well, we started yelling at each other. I'm like, yo, I can't go further. What the F? And he's just yelling and raging. And he's like an older gentleman. And he, somewhere in there, I hear him say like he's having a bad day, or you don't know what's going on with me.
Right.
I heard that. And I'm like,
you're right.
I'm like, I'm sorry. I didn't know stuff was going on. I'm sorry to hear that. Then yeah, I de-escalated and got back in the car. Well, then I drove up and I paid for his meal for him. Yeah. Nice. And then just went off, and that I came out of that feeling really sad.
Yeah.
And really analyzing, did I handle that the right way? It's probably not great to get out of your car and be yelling at people. I also
especially old men. I mean, we're going to be old soon enough. You've got a gray fucking goatee. You're the old man now, Ben.
But yeah, but also like if I'm getting cussed out, I'm not just going to sit there and take it. So it's like I don't know.
Like, what do you do? You know, it's hard.
But what I am proud of is that I listened and stopped when I heard more, when I got more information about what was going on with this dude, right?
You did listen to what he said.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on in my life. And when he says you don't know what's going on in my life, you go, oh shit, I've used that phrase before, and I know what that phrase means. I am not going to explain to you that my kid is in the hospital right now,
right?
In the ICU, and they just got in a head-on collision that wasn't anybody's fault. It just sucked. And so what I'm not explaining to you is I got to go see my kid in the ICU right now, and I just want to get through this fucking line and order my food. Now, they didn't say any of that. You don't know any of that. But what you do know is they said, you don't know what's going on in my life. And you're right. I don't.
And I stood down when I heard that.
He doesn't know what's going on in yours either. And when people don't think about other people and they only think about themselves, I think that selfish reaction that most people, I mean, I'm guilty of it too.
It's easy to fall into that.
That's
and it's already like things are already on eggshells as a nation for many different reasons, and it's hard. You know, it's like I didn't want that guy to go and kill somebody. I've been on the other side of that where, you know, involved with the people that have, you know,
people
been killed by people like that. You know, and it's never good. And it's like, you think to yourself like for road rage, it's like, well, however much energy you're putting into something that could potentially take away all of your time and impact you for, you know, the rest of your life, like, why not just, you know, chill out, take a breath, and think about other people for once. You know, it's not just all about us. It's just shared.
And sometimes the person you're dealing with might be going through some hard times and won't have the strength to see beyond that. And then it's up to us to do it, and always try to take that high road. Yeah. Okay. Merz, how are you doing here?
Well, I mean, it's just a lot to think about, and then a lot that once I'm thinking about it, I have to be grateful for. Right? That gratitude. And it is the attitude of gratitude, and I hate that shit. I just don't like it. I don't. It bothers me to say it. But on the other hand, it is absolutely true.
Yeah.
So when I say attitude of gratitude and I go, fuck, I hate that. Then I also go, but it's true. And I know that I have so much to be grateful for. My family, my friends, you guys, everything, right? Like so fucking much. I go get in a car that is literally a convertible. I go get in a fucking convertible car, and I drive to my parents. And I watched my dad yesterday because he's having some health issues. And my mom had to go do shit, so I had to go help out with mom and dad, which is where we're at in life. At least where I'm at in life. Maybe not Josh yet, but we talked a lot today about life. the universe, and everything. And to be honest, Ben, I've had something in my pocket, and no, not just my pocket constitution, as we all like to have fun with, that I think will help and add more to what we just discussed.
Oh, wow, Merz. You've caught me off guard. I'm really grateful that you are willing to just open up like this. I've seen you come a long way to find out that you're an ordained priest now, and your divinity as Ginger Gesus. Like, that doesn't just come. That doesn't just.
That's a lot of weight, my friend. That's a lot of weight.
You wield the divinity with great aplomb. And I just want you to know that, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So yes, by all means, Ginger Gesus, tell us what's on your mind.
Well, what is an astronaut's favorite snack?
What?
Space chips!
Space chips!
I'm gonna go get my space chip and fly to Mars. It looks like a Dorito because it's triangular.
Merz got us again. Well, I wonder if old Square 50s guy ever got around to making that documentary series.
Yeah.
I sure did, Benny Bo Benny. I took my nose to the film grinder, and by golly, I think I created the bee's knees of documentaries. It's a series focusing on all the wonders of nature and space in the most energizing way possible. So much so that everyone, and I mean everyone, will need some smooth, mild Chesterfields to settle themselves from all the galactic excitement. The series is called Highball Cosmos.
Drunk on the universe.
Oh my goodness. Square 50s guy, will you ever learn?
Yeah.
Anyways, any final words, fellas?
The universe is larger than any of us could ever possibly understand alone.
Did you say
The
that?
universe provides.
No, that was just a quote. Not a quote. I just said that. You're right.
It's deep.
I like it.
Wow.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us for episode 19 of Sexy Dad Jokes. Find us online and all the platforms, sexydadjokes.com. We've got a store. We've got merch. Sign up for our mailing list. Smash that like, subscribe button, and we will see you all next time. Space jokes.
Jokes in space. Thanks for listening to Sexy Dad Jokes episode 19. Please like and subscribe and visit sexydadjokes.com and get some merch. Celebrity characters depicted in this show are not affiliated with Sexy Dad Jokes. Materials used in this episode of person comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and or research. Until next time, all right.
All right.
All right.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ginger Jesus.